Morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do our March the 8th spiritual principle a day in a meditation. The title of today's meditation is Responsibility, No Matter Our Clean Time. We sometimes belittle the struggles we face as gold-plated problems, but if we ignore them, we may get a gold-plated relapse. That comes from our Living Clean book, Chapter 6, Finding Our Place in the World. In Narcotics Anonymous, our primary purpose is to carry the message to the still suffering addict. Cleantime doesn't make us immune to pain or problems, so any of us is eligible to be that addict on any given day. But what if the message seems to apply less to us than it used to? We get some time under our belts and our lives are progressing well. We acquire some of the trappings we associate with being a productive member of society. When our outsides look great and our clean time anniversaries stack up, are our problems really that bad when we compare them to when we were using? Nah, we're fine. Quality problems, luxury problems, Cadillac problems, gold-plated problems. We've heard them all, but what we've also heard time and again is what happens when we don't deal with our problems. While our struggles today may look different from the ones we had while using or in early recovery, our disease remains the same. Left unchecked, it may lead us to relapse or to the all too familiar abstinent but miserable. Having time clean doesn't give us an excuse to avoid our problems, deny they exist, or be too ashamed to do anything about them. Yes, the newcomer is the most important person in the meeting, and there are others seemingly in worse shape than us who need our help. But belittling our own struggles helps no one in the end. Pain is pain. No matter who we are or where we are in our recovery. Just like at the beginning of our journey, we're likely to avoid our pain and our problems because we want to avoid taking responsibility. Change is hard. Luckily for us, the solution is still the same in a solution. Ultimately, we have to apply what we've learned in the past. We are addicts trying to stay clean a day at a time and worthy of compassion and support from our fellow NA members. Like always, it is our own responsibility to own up to our struggles, to ask for and accept help, to re-engage with recovery, and to take action. Those solutions aren't gold-plated, they're solid gold. Today, I won't minimize my problems to avoid coming up with a solution. I won't put myself in a different category from other members. We are all the same, and we all need help sometimes. The solution is the same, so no matter how long I've been around here, I like that. The solution is the same, no matter how long I've been around here. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. Please and thank you. So we're talking about being able to acknowledge that we have a problem, right? And being responsible enough to deal with that problem, no matter how long we've been clean. And it's true. I do think what happens sometimes is that we get clean and we stay clean for a while, and all of a sudden now We think our problems are gold-plated, so we don't talk about them. All of a sudden, we get this thought in our head that nobody wants to hear how I'm struggling to go, back to school to get a doctorate. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody is interested in that struggle because the majority of us aren't even pursuing a higher education. So why would they want to hear me talk about struggling to go back to get my doctorate, right? Another one. Why would I sit around talking about the fact that I thought I would be making 6-digit incomes by the time I'm 50 years old, and here I am 52 years old and I'm only making 80,000? Nobody wants to hear that. These are things we tell ourselves, right? Why would I sit around talking about the fact that my taxes are due and I don't have the money to pay them, and the majority of the people in recovery don't even have their own business, right? The troubles of being an entrepreneur, the troubles of owning your own restaurant, the troubles of having properties, right? Being a realtor or owning real estate and having properties that you rent out to other people, but you're having a problem finding someone that can do maintenance. Who wants to even hear that? Right. So I'm just trying to give you examples of what I would think sometimes people with substantial amount of clean time or some clean time who have established themselves in some kind of way and feel that their problem is not appropriate for the table, because it's going to sound like they're gloating because they're talking about a difficult situation that most people may not be able to relate to, and which is a crazy assumption to even make to begin with. Why would you assume that I'm not able to relate to the pain and the agony that you are experiencing as you struggle to make a decision to go back to school to get your doctorate? Are you not cutting me short and saying about me that my mind is not, large enough or, progressed enough to be able to embrace your pain and to be able to be empathetic for you? How dare you? Why would you judge me like that? You don't know anything about me. You think that I can't come into a meeting and hear you complain about the fact that your fleet of vehicles were damaged in the hailstorm, and now you've got 50 cars that need dents pulled out of them before you can even open up for business? You don't think that I have the ability to have empathy for you, regardless to how gold-plated your problem might be? Why judge me like that, right? You see what I'm saying, where I'm going with this? Sometimes when we think our problems are gold-plated, we're limiting the potential, the therapeutic value of one addict being able to help another, because in our mind, we actually sort of think we don't have a right to even be in the beautiful predicament that would produce a gold-plated problem to begin with, and definitely don't have a right to come to the tables and share about it honestly, about the pain that we're in or the confusion that we're in, so that we don't end up doing the other stuff that we would typically do, right? I don't care who you are. If you're a member of Narcotics Anonymous, you have the right to come into a meeting and share your truth, no matter how gold-plated you think that truth is or how menial you think it is. We're here for each other. And true, not everyone is going to be able to relate to that. But I guarantee you that the person that is struggling with going back to school to get their GED so that they can get a decent paying job is sensing the same sort of anxiety and pressure as an individual worried about whether or not they can actually afford to go back to school or the time to get their PhD. It's very similar anxiety, very similar. At the root of it, that anxiety is very similar. A person that is sharing about putting a dog that is 16 years old to sleep because they have a cancer, a tumor, or something, and the love that it takes to be able to release that animal from that level of pain. You can't tell me that they can't relate to someone that is going up to hospice or having their parent come home on hospice and watching them transition. You can't tell me that the two are not similar. That level of pain is similar. And so we have to really, I think, as a fellowship, get away from this small problem, big problem mentality. Silver plated versus bronze plated versus gold plated problems, Cadillac problem. And I hear it and I cringe every time I hear it. And I don't think I've ever used the terminology. I know this sounds like a Cadillac problem. I don't have I should be here complaining. No, I don't share like that. I don't share like that. And I don't want anyone to share like that because I think it diminishes the value of what we have in one another. Maybe other people don't see it like that, but I do, right? I feel like the therapeutic value of one addict helping another is without parallel because we don't put one another or ourselves on pedestals and we don't degrade each other. We accept one another. And that's where I want to leave you today. That's your responsibility, no matter what, to deal with your problems, your responsibility to deal with what's in front of you. And I have faith that you can do it. I know you can do it. So let's just do it. My name is MightyStream. I've enjoyed talking to you today, and I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose.